78.6 FM, positive vibes with Winsome. It's good to be back on another Saturday morning. The weather started off a little crazy today. It was raining this morning. Wasn't crazy windy, but the sun wasn't out yet. On my way to the show, the sun came out. That made my whole morning better, man. So hopefully the message today will make your morning better and you guys can have a little good message to take some energy with you for the rest of your Saturday and into the weekend. For my friends who are learning English, arigatou gozaimasu. For my friends that are learning English and driving here in Yomatan, listening to the station, thank you for listening. I will try to slow down during the sessions to make sure that I'm keeping you in mind because I know you're listening to practice your English. So I'll try to slow down. I know sometimes I get excited and I get, start speaking a little fast about what we're talking about today. And today I really want to slow down and give time back to those folks who are working on their English skills. 78.6 FM, positive vibes with Winsome. Man, it's so good to be back this morning. Let's talk about the first segment, which is always about gratitude. Always about gratitude. So with that being said, I want to start off by saying thank you to the teammates over at LeadX. This past couple of weeks have been significant in the development of a group of people who are simply amazing. And LeadX has helped us make sure that we educate these folks, encourage them, and inspire them to be great when they finish the training sessions that they're going through right now. So if you don't know, I've been waking up early every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for us here in Japan. And we're waking up early with this team and going over materials. Today we talked about the focused leader, how to focus, how to lock in, how to block out the noise, block out the distractions. That was today. Earlier this week we talked about the self-aware leader, and before that we talked about, I think it was critical conversations. So we've had some really good lessons that we've gone over for the past couple of weeks, and I can tell you this group is amazing. I love their energy. I love what's motivating them, driving them to be great. The flagship course, of course, was the emotional intelligence, the new emotional intelligence from Dr. Travis Bradberry, and the lessons have been nothing short of an amazing time. I try to keep my energy up for them because I know for me it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and for them it's 3 in the afternoon. So we're trying to, meet each other where we're at during these sessions. And very kind, very understanding, very motivated group, a lot of different energies, wonderful conversations, connecting to the material. I'm so grateful to be a part of this first cohort to go through. Can't wait to see what they do with the material and to see how they go out and develop others, which is always the goal. How are we using what we've learned to develop others? How do we take this information? Because a lot of times you'll read a book or you'll watch a movie or should I say watch a documentary or something, learn something. And instead of taking the information and applying it somewhere, you kind of just hold on to it. It's yours. Well, the goal here is to take this information, this new knowledge, and immediately go out and share it. Immediately go and help others learn it in the way that they can apply it. And which I think is great. I like how every session ends with a commitment. You have to be committed to change. You can't just hear the change. My challenge for you is tell me before you leave how you're going to use it. Imagine that, right? So 78.6 FM, positive vibes with Winsome. I do want to give a shout out to the LeadX team and really excited about that. The next team, just getting started, right? The Let's Talk About Growth team. Those folks, and I want to take Mike, thank you, Mike Watlington, say thank you to him for the trust, allowing me to be a part of the development for the group who's locked into the Let's Talk About Growth page on Facebook. I know it's been kind of stagnant over the past year. Every once in a while somebody will pop in and pop out, but I really want to see this team succeed this year because it's an opportunity to provide professional development to people who've never seen this type of stuff before. It's an opportunity for us to develop and broaden minds of individuals and keep them from being somewhere where they may have been stagnant mentally, or provoke thought that was never, opened before, never tapped into. All the things that have really fascinated me, or the things that I can't wait to share more and to connect with these people who already talk about it, like the neuroplasticity, neurogenesis, the neural pathways in your brain, how to continue to help your brain grow, be stronger, be better, and walk away and hold on to something that you can use, right? And that knowledge, that power that just is growing. I don't ever want to be in the same place I was last year, which is mean I always want to focus on being better than yesterday. And so to be able to show others and teach others, educate, encourage, and inspire others to do that, I think that's powerful. That's something that people dream to be able to do. And I think a lot of folks right now, when you're talking about influencers or people with forum, or what do you call that, platforms, they have the potential. They have the platform, but they're not always using it for the right reasons. I started listening to some folks talking about how to make money and how to be this and labels and this fanciness. I know these dudes like, where's your Lamborghini? This is the kind of stuff I'm like, what is happening? What about just appreciating having a brand new day? What about being mentally strong enough to survive your worst days? What about being the best version of you? What about not worrying about what other people think before caring about how you see yourself and the love you have for yourself? What about those things that start with you and then taking that love, that expression which you've created for yourself, and then like tree branches, extending that out in so many different directions that people see who you are as a person, as whatever role you're playing, just the best version of that role. What's wrong with that? But I'm listening and I'm starting to see they had this whole thing about like the red pill and the black pill and all these people that were just really promoting some of the most insane stuff, to be honest with you. And I'm all about taking care of your body. I'm all about taking care of your finances. But some of these extreme cases are kind of missing the mark. So to have the opportunity to bring it back to the left, just even if it's a few people, I'd rather start and plant that seed somewhere that grows. They say sometimes you'll be planting a seed for something you'll never see grow. You hear that one phrase, I'm planting a seed for a tree I'll never be able to sit under its shade. And I think that's significant in what we do. When we have these opportunities, always try to speak life into people. Take these opportunities, these platforms, to turn your experiences into lessons that can be blessings for other people. How did you survive it? How did you get through it? What is the roadmap, or what did it look like for you? I may not take the same road, but at least I know that there is a road to take. People miss that. And I think this next group of people speaking are kind of trying to bridge that gap. I've watched on one side or on one hand people focused on politics. I've seen another people focused on selling catalogs or making money. And then I've seen another side, very few that I've been able to catch, that are talking about mental health, that are really talking about growth, self-care, development, human improvement, all of these things that should matter, that should be important, that should be on the forefront of everyone's conversation. Because if you pay attention to what's going on outside of that, it's going to take you in a lot of different directions. I heard the phrase flooding the zone lately with news back to back to back. And it's just, no, I don't have the capacity for that. So we should be teaching people how to block out the noise and to focus on what's important to not only them, but the people they care about and love, and how to grow them. And I'm not always spot on. There's days where I've had late nights, early mornings. If you were here and watched the show last week, I was so tired. I came on the show last weekend and I was like, I don't even know what I want to talk about. I just want to be here, make sure I spend some time with you. Let's just talk about what's on my mind right now. And I'll tell you, that was 2 weeks, if not 3 weeks, of late nights, early mornings, time changes. As you guys know, sickness, I had an issue with half my face where I couldn't talk, couldn't smile, couldn't speak right, and I had to teach through that. And when I got to the other side of it, I had to get on the air at 10 a.m. last Saturday. And I was exhausted, but I was still here. I kept showing up. I was gracious and appreciative of this opportunity, and I wouldn't rather be anywhere than right here, especially if I know there's a message that someone may need to hear. So I'm grateful for this opportunity. You talk about gratitude. I'm grateful to be in the room. I'm grateful to have this platform. I'm grateful for the people that believe in me. I'm grateful for my teammates that trust me. I'm grateful for my friends that encourage me, my mentors that have inspired me to continue, that push me to continue to grow and not to settle. All the folks who sacrificed something to make sure that I had these opportunities. All those folks, even if it was time, even if it was someone sacrificing a few minutes just to say, hey, did you think about this? Or, hey, Winsome, try this. Or this is what I did that worked for me. Those people matter. Those people were amazing. So I'm grateful for them. Grateful for my family, for, even me being in Japan and my family being in the U.S., the love they still show. My son being in the service and checking on me throughout the month, making sure that I'm okay, and me checking on him, and the love that I have, and to see him grow and being a superhero in his own way, right? I love and I'm so grateful for those things. Grateful for the companies that have trusted me with their material, trained me, certified me, armed me up to be ready for whatever's next. I'm so grateful for them. I'm grateful for the teams that continue to invite me to go places, to teach, to talk to audiences and communities that I've never spoke with before, never met, and just to see how amazing it is to have those opportunities and to live through them. Man, 2026 started off busy. It's been busy. I can't make that up and say anything less than it's been busy. But I would tell you, I've learned a lot. There's a lot of things that are still yet to be done. And there's still a lot of conversations yet to be had. Still a lot of sessions left to be taught. Should I say yet to be taught? And people yet to meet. 78.6 FM, positive vibes of Winsome. I'm also grateful for the lady who folded my clothes, or the gentleman who folded my clothes last Saturday while I was on the air. I threw my clothes in the washer to get here. And what I love about Yomatown, what I love about this community is so sweet. So I throw my clothes in the laundromat, and I'm coming to the show for an hour, and I was going to go pick them up when I came back. It couldn't have been an hour and 15 minutes. But by the time I got back, my clothes were already folded. They were back in my basket, and somebody had threw their clothes in the washer. But the fact that they took the time, and it wasn't a little bit of clothes. I just want to say that I should have took a picture. It wasn't a little bit of clothes. It was a lot of clothes. It was a big basket, and they took care of it, folded it for me, man. It was the sweetest thing. I probably don't even know this person, never crossed paths with this person. But the fact that they were sweet enough, kind enough, and had that kind of compassion, I'm probably there thinking, oh, this guy's running late, or he probably got caught up in something. Let me fold this for him. I was telling someone I care about earlier, I was like, hey, that's a huge difference from the way they treat you here than they treat you where I'm from. And so that alone makes me love being in this community, love being on this island, and love being in this village, Yomatan. So last week I went to Atabi's, and I sat there for a few hours. I took my tri-screen. If you guys have ever seen me, I have a laptop. It has 3 screens, and I'm working on slides, and I'm working on material. And I didn't realize how much time had passed. I remember looking up, and I think it was like 4 or 5 hours I had been there working on a project, and I was like, wow, this place is cool. And then everybody who works there, they know me. They see me often. One of the cooks always gives me hugs. Such a wonderful place. And the view is second to none if you're looking outside or watching the sunset. It's amazing to watch from there. So I sat there and I spent time and got through the project. I came home and I realized, this is home. 78.6 FM, positive vibes at Winsome. We'll be right back. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsome. A lot of people say, life will get better, and I'll get positive when life gets better. And I think a lot of people miss the mark because life gets better when you show up better. I'll get better when things get better. No, who is the person that's showing up good days, bad days, rainy days, sunny days? Who's the person that's consistently showing up? It's not what life gives you, it's what you take. Because life will take from you. Life will throw body blows, uppercuts, and body slams at you. It's when you get back up, what did you learn? Okay, bang. Don't allow life to hit me that way again. Don't take that situation ever again. And I learned the lesson. I'm going to apply the lesson moving forward. How do you apply life lessons? Or just letting things happen to you and jumping into the days aimless and not remembering what you've already learned and what you've already survived. You see, a lot of people think when I came up with the name Positive Vibes Radio Show, it's about fake smiles and fake energy. No, it's the opposite. It's about understanding that life happens. It's about understanding that no matter what happens to you, it's not what happens, it's what you do next. And everybody has the opportunity to take a step back, look at their story, look at their movie and say, I'm not going to let that happen to me again. Or, you know what? I could have did this differently. Or, you know what? How can I make better decisions to make sure that when I approach similar situations that I have better outcomes? Come on, man. A lot of times I'm sitting there and I'm talking to people, and I think a young man came to see me the other day, and he thought the conversation was going to be a quick in, quick out. And then when he realized that the conversation got a little serious, I was like, yeah, you didn't expect that because you came for an answer, but you already had the answer within you. And I can connect with a lot of his story because 20-something years ago, I was in the same exact scenario as he was, waiting on answers for uncertainties and question marks in my mind. And young man, he was so just anxious and ready and just wanted something to happen right now. I know that feeling. I've been there before. I've felt that before. And I told him, I said, hey, there's only one thing that you can't control right now. And I said it with a smile, just like I'm saying to you. Patience. You have to be patient. You're used to controlling every aspect of your life, and right now you don't have control of your next chapter, but you have done everything in your power to set yourself up for success. So as of right now, you have to learn patience. He was like, oh, I want to call this person, I want to do this thing, or I want to go around and work it this way. I'm like, you've done enough. I'm not telling you not to do anything. I advise. I coach. I don't force anyone to do anything. But if you come to me for advice, or if you open that door, I'm going to tell you, now is the time for you to seek patience. What does that mean? Saying y'all don't know what patience means, coach. Well, look, that means do everything you've done to the best of your ability, and then allow the process to work its way through. If there's something else that requires your action, then you do that action to the best of your ability and let everything else play out. When you focus on all of the things that have absolutely nothing to do with you, you're going to stress yourself out. You're going to become anxious. You're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to get frustrated. You have to learn patience. And I said it verbatim that way because from our conversation, which at this point had been 45 minutes, I can tell that is something this young man has never had to learn. Patience. He's been in control of everything for 12 years of his career, he said. And it's the first time he hit that block where he had no control. And I said, oh, yeah, that's the thing. Some people love having that control over their own story. And most of us want that. Some of us, would rather have somebody take the wheel. But those folks who like to control every aspect of their story, that's a miserable place to be in. You know how I know? I used to be that person. I want to control all aspects of my story. I don't want nobody to be the sound, the video, the audio, whatever this is going on in my movie, the cinematography, whatever's going on, I want to control. And then I realized I can't control everything. And if I tried, I was going to wear myself out. Sometimes you got to trust. Sometimes you got to allow the process to play out. So positive vibes isn't about always being happy and that, what is that, the toxic positivity. Sometimes the reality is things aren't always going to work out in your favor. Someone gave me a compliment over the week, and they were saying, one thing I've always noticed about you is that you pay attention and that you approach things, and you try to approach things positively. And when you can't, you try to approach it logically, but you also apply certain things, certain skills, and you know how to approach things certain ways. I was like, nah, it's not about being manipulative. It's not about being sneaky. It's not about being, playing chess. It's really just about the human experience most of the time. I'm very aware, and I've grown to be very aware of people, personality types, how people will navigate conversations and situations. There's people I know that I wouldn't trust 5 feet in front of me with something versus I know I can trust someone to be completely out of sight, and I pay attention to who those people are. But it comes with time. It comes with conversation. It comes with testing people sometimes. And it's sad because you don't want to be right. Sometimes people prove you right. And so I appreciate it, and I accept the compliment, the way it was presented. I was like, I appreciate that, but I'm not always positive. There's a lot of times I'm very angry inside. I've just learned along the way how to control it and how not to let the other person know what I'm feeling. If we're a species who experiences 400 to 500 emotions a day, of course I'm not always going to be happy. Of course I'm not always going to be in a positive mood. I told you guys, I was navigating work, exhausted, tired, ready to go home, sleepy, you name it. Let's go. Exhausted, tired, sleepy, aggravated, frustrated, but I didn't want to take it out on anybody. It was about my story. That's not anyone else's fault that I'm feeling this or that I'm putting myself through this for the sake of what, the greater good. No matter what, I don't take it out on anybody else. That's what's within my control. The times, the situations, the things we've signed up for, been a part of, I can't control the schedules. I can only control how I approach things and how I respond to people. That's it. The first thing that I need to learn to control is me. So people say 100% now, things will get better. I'll be positive when life gets better. But the point is, life gets better when you show up better. So who's showing up every single day? And what are you bringing in? A lot of times people don't have a positive mindset. And I really want you guys to listen in on this part, because I don't think people understand the superpower that having a positive mindset is. When you go walk into any room, even though you might be in a hostile territory, not talking about like anything crazy, but I'm talking about different personality types, different drama stories going on, but you walk in and you bring that positive energy, that positive outlook, that positive mindset, that positive perspective, you can shift the entire mood of a complete team, a building, not just a section. I've seen it. I've literally seen how maintaining a positive attitude, positive mindset has shifted an entire building. And so when I tell you how important it is to understand what a powerful mindset is, what it looks like, how it navigates life, how it approaches situations, I'm going to approach it with a positive mindset. I'm going to approach this in a positive way. If I get negative resistance, I'm not going to feed into that resistance. I'm going to make sure I'm playing chess when dealing with it. A lot of people go into those conversations with a positive mindset with someone with a negative mindset, and guess what happens? They flip, and now they got a negative mindset, or they approach it negatively, and they let someone take them into a conversation that becomes an argument or a conflict. No. Hey, I'm going to give you, guess what? I see where you're at. I know where I'm at, and I'm not going to allow you to take me there. A lot of times that's cutting off conversations, being positive vibes, cutting off conversation. Hey, you know what, man? I see you're vibing on something right now, or you're dealing with something, and I'm always going to be here to listen to you and talk to you, but I'm going to give you a few to navigate this. I don't think we need to, have this conversation right now. So many different ways to negate someone's negate negativity, to cancel out somebody's negativity, especially when they're trying to steal your joy. Positive mindset, controlling your joy, avoiding people that's trying to steal your joy. Let me tell you something. I had to learn that too. I used to surround myself with anybody. I love people. But then I started realizing who the drainers were around me, and I started limiting my time with them. It's kind of like a battery. We always use that analogy, right? But really, I started realizing, who am I around that really drains my battery? I don't need to be around that person. And why is it that they're draining me so much? And I realized that you have to be very specific, and you have to be very intentional with who you surround yourself with, who you spend your time with, who you have those serious conversations with. Because if they're not in the same wavelength as you, if they're not in the same mindset as you, and they're going somewhere you're not trying to go, or they're experiencing energies that you're not trying to experience, then you got to cut them off. I saw Juan Lewis posted today something about when people are fed up, right? And they're trying to protect their peace. And, I'm always talking about protecting your peace, because your peace is everything. And that's part of being able to have a positive mindset, or positive vibes, positive energy. It's protecting your peace. It's not just about cutting people off, not calling, not talking to them. It's about boundaries. That's the word. This is setting those clear boundaries. I am not putting myself in that environment, around that person, the place, or thing that disturbs my peace, because my peace is important to me. And if you care about your health, your energy, your mind, the way you function, your body, everything, then all of these things start to matter to you. And a lot of people wait until it's late in the game. And I'm proud of those folks who caught it early, who listen and are like, nah, man, I'm protecting my peace. I'm so proud of those people, because there's a lot of people who allow and accept anything into their story. And they don't realize until much later how important it is to protect their peace. So, Juan, I saw your post, man. I thought that was dope. The word you're looking for is boundaries. People who start to realize that their energy is being wasted set boundaries. We'll be right back after this break. '78.6 FM, positive vibes with Winsome. So ask yourself, what drained you last week? You talk about what's killing your energy. You're not tired, you're just overloaded. So ask yourself, what drained you last week? Who drained you last week? Remember, we talked about who you're surrounding yourself with and who you're calling and allowing in your circle and your space. Who drained you last week? When you think about that, also ask yourself, what gave you energy last week? Think about this week. What drained you this week? Who drained you this week? This is Saturday now. Keep acting like we're on a Monday. It's from a Monday radio show, right? The AFN show. Hey, what drained you this week? Who drained you this week? Think about this for a second. Who took your energy? What took your energy? And then I also want you to think about what gave you energy this week. Think about this for a second. Who and what drained you? And then what gave you energy? You see, because your environment is either feeding you or it's draining you. Who and what you surround yourself with is either feeding your energy or it's taking your energy. So when you understand who is taken from you, what is taken from you, and you identify that, and then you identify what gives you energy, you're starting to take control of your life again. You're starting to take control of your energy. You start to take control of your mind. You start to take control of your peace. You start to take control of your focus. You start to take control of those things that matter to you that you say you want because you're paying attention to what feeds you. Not just nourishment and food, but what feeds your energy, your soul, gives you positive energy. What do you need to be around that? Who is it that gives you that? And what do you need to get and cut out of your life? What's one drain that you need to cut out this week? What person or thing do you need to cut out of your world, your orbit for a little while until they figure it out? Because you don't owe them anything. They owe it to themselves to make those changes. You don't got to explain why you cut people off. Replace it with something better, or replace them with something better. So if it's a challenge, that's something that you identify has drained you, what is that? Cut it. I challenge you for this next week. Cut it out. Kind of like when we were kids. Cut it out. Replace it with something better that gives you energy. That is your challenge for me. Your environment is either feeding you or it is draining you. And when by your environment, I mean the people, places, or things that you allow into your life. Question, why are you allowing that? Who are you around? What do you listen to? Think about this. What's feeding you? What's draining you? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What are you listening to? I've told you many times that I won't wake up anymore and jump into the news first thing in the morning. I was doing that. There was so much going on in the world. The first thing I was doing was jumping into the news. But then when I would shut it off, I would realize that my energy was gone. My mental capacity was limited. My mindset was negative because I'm so focused in on everything that was going on. I was listening and taking all of this into my mind. What do you scroll? What are you watching every day? YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. What are you scrolling? Where are you taking your mind? Where are you allowing your energy to go? And when you finish with doom scrolling, how much time have you actually put into this versus something that you could be doing that adds productivity into your life, that adds value into your life, right? Have you ever seen the people who play video games? Have you ever checked how many hours they log? How productive, and I know there's magic behind some games that builds your neural pathways. I love that, right? It connects those tissues. There's some games out there that helps you build on your intellectual skill, but there's some others that just drain you. It's brainless. When some people finish, I won't name it. There's no way I would name these games, but there's games out there that are just brain dumps. There's movies, there's shows out there that are just brain dumps. But there's also those ones that are like the good ones that are feeding your mind with knowledge and information and experience and updating you on certain things and topics. There's even certain stations I've seen on Amazon that focus on personal growth and development. I forgot the name of it. I'll bring it next week. But it was the coolest thing. There was one, there's a channel that was covering mindfulness, meditation, travel. There's really some escapism items out there that are good for your mind and your spirit, but that's not what we're looking for. And it's okay to balance those things out. Like, hey, I'm going to watch this brain dead Netflix special that's going to take 6 hours of my life I'll never get back. But I'm also going to promise myself that I'm going to read this because this is going to feed my mind. Or I'm going to also watch this or listen to this podcast because it's going to feed my mind with energy and information that I need to be better, to be stronger, to be wiser. I gave the world 6 hours of my life. Now I'm going to give my mind and my life more time back. There's people who are growing. Shout out to Joe Gross, getting their PhDs and doing amazing things with their time, with their energy. They've realized that, hey, I got to do away with certain things if I'm willing to or wanting to grow in other areas. It doesn't happen magically. It doesn't just happen overnight. It's not something that you will into existence. You have to do the work. You have to seek it out. You have to be intentional. You have to work on yourself and truly mean that you're going to succeed, you're going to win, you're going to get to that intellectual finish line that you want and that you see for yourself. You have to be intentional about it. But a lot of people just get caught up in what everybody else is watching, what everybody else is listening to, what everybody else is talking about, and they're not intentional about their own story. They get caught up in everybody else's story. So what is it you want for yourself? Who is it that you're trying to be? What are you listening to? What are you scrolling in on? What is it that's taking your time? What are you feeding your mind? What drains you this week? Who drains you this week? What are you cutting out of your life to be a better version of you next week? Think about that this weekend if you're listening to this show right now. What are you cutting out of your life so that you can be a better version of yourself next week? So there's times that you got to sit back and reflect too. I'm going to change the camera. There's times that you got to find time for yourself to sit back and reflect on all of these things. I can ask you the questions all day, but if you think you know the answers, but you've never really reflected on where you are in this space, meaning who's draining you, what's draining you, what you need to cut out of your life to be a better version of yourself, what are the things that are taking your time, your energy, and your existence, and what are you wasting time on that you can be putting time on something else? Me and the team were talking about what we value and how we show what we value, and how a lot of people give their jobs 99% of themselves, and then they go home and give their family leftovers or fumes because they've given work everything. And a lot of us get caught up in that trap because we haven't taken a second to pause and reflect. I tell you all the time, the hardest person for me to coach is the person that doesn't reflect, the person that doesn't really truly want change. They're comfortable and they're truly secretly happy with who they are. And sometimes it's not a good person. They know they need to change, but they don't want to do the work. And it starts with reflecting on where you are and who you are. So I ask you, are you doing the work to pay attention to what's draining you, who's draining you, what you need to cut off, who you need to cut off to be a better version of you, who you're around, what are you listening to, what are you scrolling on? We talked about many different opportunities for you to build yourself up, to grow. The crazy thing is, it's almost as if being busy, being overwhelmed is synonymous with cutting out things that you need. I hear people, they were talking about it in class. There's people right now who they say the first thing to go is my meal eating schedule or the gym or family time, because you're giving that energy somewhere else. But the things that you really need to dive into, the things you really need to build into your day, you can't. Going to the gym, or getting some sort of physical workout or doing something physical is important to you physically as well, and for your longevity. Being able to eat on a good schedule throughout the day. Imagine, especially someone who is consistently having to use their mental cognitive powers, but they haven't eaten all day. How good are they going to be at what they're doing? How efficient? Not so much. Because you start getting headaches, because your body starts wearing down, because you start feeling fatigue. It's a lot of things happening that people don't realize. Those little things matter. Your environment is either feeding you or it's draining you. There is no neutral. What are you surrounding yourself with? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What are you listening to? What are you scrolling in on? What time are you putting into growth, development, the people you love, those things that matter to you? Being better than you were yesterday, reflection, taking a look at who you are, where you stand right now, and making that promise or that, commitment to yourself that you're going to be a better version of that tomorrow. I ask that question because a lot of people don't do it. A lot of people don't reflect. They don't think about where they are right now and who the world needs them to be. I'm going to say that again. A lot of people don't pay attention to who they are right now and what needs or changes they need to make to be who the world needs them to be. Oh, well, my job needs me to do this. Oh, well, my family needs me to do this. Oh, my kids need me to do this. What does the world need? What light do you need to bring? Who needs to show up? A lot of people think that their impact doesn't matter. They go through life, I'm just in my small little bubble. No, you have the opportunity and the ability to have a ripple effect on those around you. Your tiny actions can set things into motion that can change somebody's entire universe. It starts with you, focusing on you. So when we say these things, right, it's a mindset shift. I'm asking you to shift your whole entire thought process of how you approach your day, instead of approaching them aimlessly, instead of approaching them as if you're not really caring about your move. You gotta, whatever happens, you gotta deal with it. No, being intentional about your day, showing up, be trying and focusing on being the best version of you every single day. And when you can do that, when you're focused on gratitude, when you shift the focus on what I'm grateful for, what I have, think about this. I have a brand new day to come here to 78.6 FM Yomatan. It's not raining outside. The sun's not shining too bright. I can go from where I'm at to go see the water. I can call friends and family right now and tell them that I love them. The world gave me another day. Movement. I have my digits, my smile, my body. I can do things today that I don't know if it's promised that I can do these tomorrow. So I'm grateful to have the connections with people, being able to do things like this right now, to build energy up for others, to pour into others, to help them understand that life is about more than just waking up, going to work, going to sleep, waking up. Or waking up, going to work, going to the gym, going to sleep. It's so much more than those rinse, wash, and repeats. You have to build these things in intentionally. What are you doing today? I'm going to go and I'm going to see something in this village that I've never seen before. Challenge. What are you doing today? I'm going to the gym because I made a promise to myself that I was going to go to the gym every day. What are you doing for yourself? I'm going to make sure that I get to bed at a reasonable time tonight because I know I need rest to be the best version of me tomorrow. What are you doing today? I'm going to make sure I buy myself and give myself time for space and quiet energy. I'm going to make sure that I am finding time. Give me a second. We have a visitor here today. That we have time and that I'm using the time. I'm saying this because we have someone in the session speaking to our producer. And so what we were talking about is gratitude, movement, and connection. Arigato. Arigato gozaimasu. And we were talking about, sorry, we had someone in the studio and they were talking, something happened. So I'm back on the air. Sorry about that. Didn't lock the door, right? Gratitude, movement, connection, all of these things that you don't always wake up positive, you build it. Those are the four components, right? Gratitude, movement, connection, quiet time, reflection. Like all of these things have to happen. You can't do one and expect all the other ones to happen. And you can't just automatically wake up, today's a great day. No, you have to build those things into your day. It doesn't just automatically become a good day. You have to make it a great one in your mind first. We'll be right back after this break. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes with Winsome. We were talking about some really good stuff last segment. We had a visitor come in and talk to one of our producers, and they didn't realize I was on the air, so you probably heard the background conversation. Forgive me. It's one of the things we can't control. We didn't lock the door. Somebody came in chatting, and I think somebody got either an accident or something happened here in the village, so had to take care of it. Anyway, 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes with Winsome. I was talking about some core habits that you build when you wake up and start your day off to make sure that you harp on that positive mindset. You build that positive mindset and you start your day with a positive mindset. You wake up with gratitude, movement, connection, and quiet time. Listen, think about starting your day off like that. I woke up, man, I got another day. Think about it. It's almost impossible for you to find somebody that wakes up like that these days. Hey, man, good morning. How you feeling? I'm all right. No, hey, I'm great, baby. I got a new day. I'm ready. Let's go. We here. Hey, 47 years old, still kicking. I'm on the right side of the earth today, man. Let's go. Movement. First thing, I'm going to the gym. I still got my body. I still have the ability. So I'm going to the gym. I'm working it out. If I can't get on the gym, I'm going on the track. If I can't get out there to the gym or the track, I'm doing push-ups or sit-ups at the house. I'm moving. I'm connecting. First thing I do in the morning is I try to reach out to the people I love and say good morning. I do my little check-in. If I can't talk to them on the phone, I do the text, but I'm connecting with those people that I love. And then I give myself some quiet time before I jump in the game. The crazy part is I now wake up earlier than anybody I know. And in a lot of ways, I go to bed before anybody I know because I'm paying attention to what works for me and what allows me to be the best version of me. There's some things that are out of my control. Like I told you, waking up early and going to sleep late for a class or a project, I can't control that. That's my responsibilities. But what I can control is picking and choosing my spots, how I respond to people, not taking my feelings or thoughts or tiredness or frustrations out on people, how to still show up as positive as I can. Do you think anybody that saw me those couple of weeks knew that I was going to sleep early or going to bed late, waking up early? No, they had no clue because it's about how I chose to show up, which is how we started the show. How you choose to show up every single day matters. Gratitude, movement, connection, quiet time, jumping into the day appreciative of having another opportunity to do it. If you want peace, you have to have the discipline to be able to do those things. You have to protect your peace. You have to remember what we said at the very beginning. You got to block out the who and the what is draining you. You got to cut them out. You don't rise to positivity. You can't just call the show Positive Vibes because you like the sound of it. You have to train into it. You have to train your mind to appreciate, to accept, and to look for those things, to look for the good. You have to focus on the things that build you up, that give you energy. You got to pay attention to your energy, who you're giving it to, why you're giving it to them, and what you do with your energy every single day. If you wake up with a full green bar, pay attention to what it looks like at the end of the day and who you gave that energy to. It's like energy tracking, like your phone. You guys pay attention more to your phone than you do your own body. You know when your phone's about to lose charge. What about you? What about you as a person, as a human being? Are you paying attention to your body and realizing that, hey, I need to do something to charge me back up. I need to get rid of something to charge me back up. What does that look like, Winsome? What are you talking about? Well, when you're trying to save battery in your phone, you go in, if you have an iPhone, and you go to the cellular area and you turn off all the apps that are draining you. If you're trying to make sure you're paying attention to where your energy goes throughout the week, throughout the day, the people and things that drain you, if you can cut them off, why aren't you doing it? What does that look like for you? I'm trying to keep it simple. Small actions done daily. Or how you get the things that you want in your life, how you keep the energy that you're trying to have, how you keep that positive mindset that you say you want. Things are going to come at you all the time, and things are not always positive. Sometimes it's going to be trials. Sometimes it's going to be drama. Sometimes it's going to be negativity. It's how you show up and how you navigate those things that matter, and that's how you walk away. Sometimes you're going to be tired. Sometimes you're not going to feel like it, but your consistency, your character, your heart, show up every single day when you bring it and you're consistent. Boundaries matter. Saying yes to everything leads to burnout. Being available all the time leads to exhaustion. Truth, some conversations just aren't worth it. Think about that for a second. Saying yes to everything is burnout. Being available all the time is exhaustion. The truth is, some conversations just aren't worth having. I had to make that decision, especially over this past couple of years. Why am I even having that conversation? I called my brother yesterday. I said, hey, man, hey, my guy, I'm thinking about having this conversation. Should I have it? And he's one of those people that is go, go, go. So, of course, if I ask him, he's going to tell me, yeah. But if I ask the person that's more balanced, that has more balance in their life and it seeks nothing but peace, they're going to ask me that one coaching question that I love. Is it worth having that conversation? Some people just bring chaos. If you know this person is someone who brings chaos everywhere they go, are you inviting that chaos into your life? Or are you setting boundaries? Normalize saying no. Taking space, not engaging. Listen to what I'm telling you. Saying yes to everything equals burnout. Being available all the time leads to exhaustion. Some conversations are not worth having. Some people bring chaos. All of these things, I'm trying to help you normalize saying no, seeking to take space, finding your space, and not engaging if you don't need to. Pick and choose your battles. Not right now. I ain't having this conversation right now, man. Well, wait, let me sit on that for a minute. I'm not available for that. Woo, one of my favorite lines. I'm not available for that. Think about that for a second. When you're honest with yourself, when you're thinking about these things and you're saying that out loud, isn't it powerful? You don't have to attend every argument that you're invited to. A lot of people bring that. There's some people that just bring that energy. It's just negative energy, and they're looking for a fight. I've encountered that more than ever this year. That there's people who go into the situations, and I just sit back and watch. It's not my conversation, but I'm watching. Some people are looking for a fight. You don't have to attend every argument that you're invited to. I'm good. I ain't showing up for that. And your peace, when we talk about protecting it, it's not found anywhere. It's yours to protect. You can start off your day with it, but if you allow it to go, you didn't protect it. 78.6 FM, positive vibes of Winsome. We've talked about a lot today, man. Protecting your peace. Finding that people and places that drain you, cutting them off. We talked about not allowing yourself to get exhausted. We talk about setting boundaries, not allowing every conversation to drag you into it. Sometimes you just got to say, not right now. I'm not available for that. We talked about how being available all the time leads to exhaustion, how saying yes to everything leads to burnout, and that some conversations are not worth it, that some people bring chaos, and you have to be able to navigate that person and how to make sure you're not allowing all of those things that you don't want into your life. It's called setting boundaries. And how to do that is to navigate that with love, eloquently. Not right now. I'm not available for that. You don't have to attend every argument that you've been invited to. Pick and choose your battles. Set boundaries. Seek peace. And protect the peace that you have. Wake up with gratitude. Wake up with movement. Wake up seeking your connections, those people that you love. Find that peace, that space before the world gets crazy and the chaos happens because you can't control it all. Find that space for quiet time before you jump into the day. Be present with yourself and remember who the heck you are. 78.6 FM, positive vibes with Winsome. You are loved and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I'll see you next week. Take care.